Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Hello. So today we're going to do another, not a page, but a piece of my ring bound journals. And now this is following a tutorial from Tanya at Tatty Treasure. So here's what they are. They're little like sort of pocket notebook flip up things. So we've got a little charm down here, semi-policy closure I suppose. This then flips up and we've got just a stapled bit of note paper and a little pocket for a little journal card. So a really simple make, but don't they just look so effective in that Tim Holtz paper? So we're going to make a couple of these and we're going to do them, so these are for the sort of the yellow journal. It's not really yellow, but it's just more of a yellowy vintage type of colour. And these that we're going to do together are in more of like a blue. So I've got two strips. Now, if memory serves, these should be 12 by 4, thereabouts, maybe 3.5. Yeah, so I've got 3.5 and 3.5 by 12. I want to say the original was 4, but the original was 3, so I've got them a little bit bigger this time. But that's just because I had this piece left over, so I've just split it in half and this is going to be our base. Alrighty, so we want to first of all fold up the bottom to give us our pocket. I'm just folding it along where I think is looking good, and then I'm just going to grab a circle. Where have I put them? Just so that I can gauge how far down I want the top to go, because basically if I leave this one here like that, you can kind of see what I'm doing. We want enough, I'll use that one instead, we want enough room for the policy closure at the bottom. So if we pretend this is our circle, something like that would be perfectly fine. So I'm just going to fold it there, and then I might need to do a little bit of trimming because I think I've got a little bit of an overlap on this edge. Okay, and again, same thing. So I think about there. Now I've got my window open, so I apologise if you can hear any noise outside. It's just it's quite warm in here today, so yeah, I needed the window open for a change, but I've had to put the blind down because it's the afternoon and the sun is absolutely beating through my window. Okay, so I'm just going to burnish those down a little bit. There we are. And then I'm just going to ink around them and trim them up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're all inked up and I'm just going to round the top corners, just off the bottom of the flappy piece. Oops. Stay over there. There we go. All right, and this one. Perfection. All right, so we have these. So basically we have, we've just folded at the bottom and we've got a fold over flap piece. And the most important thing to remember is just that you've got enough room down here for what is going to be our policy closure. Okay, so I think the next thing that I want to do is pop a hole in the top flap. This is where we're going to put our eyelets. So let me just grab my crocodile, and we want this to be in the middle ish, and this one here Okay, and for these I think I'm going to use silver eyelets. Those match. Doesn't matter if they don't match. I don't think it really matters. And pop those in. Okay, I've got the eyelets in. So now I'm going to grab 2 circles for each one. So these are just some scraps of the one of the Tim Holtz papers. And I'm just going to glue the 2 circles together, just because then it gives them a bit of extra, oops, goodness me, it gives them a bit of extra strength that way. So that's those. So yeah, we're just doing 2 circles for each one this time. Normally with a policy closure you'd have 4, because obviously you'd have you know, top and bottom. For these I'm just using 2 because it seemed to be just enough without adding unnecessary bulk and everything. Okay, so we have that. Right, let me just bring it out in front of me and remember the next step. Okay. Right, so I'm going to punch a hole through the middle of each one. Okay, and where are my brads? So I've got these little Tim Holtz brads. Thank you again to Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors for sending me these in some happy mail. I'll definitely buy some more when I've run out, because these little brads have been really helpful for, you know, various things. You know, they haven't added unnecessary bulk or anything. So okay, so I want to get my circle lined up with the eyelets as best I can anyway. I don't think it has to be exactly exact. exactly exact. Just as long as it has the opportunity to line up, I think it's just fine. Okay, so we're going to punch the hole, if I haven't lost where the mark is. Okay, I can see it. So just go through there. Okay, and we'll do this one as well whilst we're here. Minding our fingers. And then we're going to pop our brad through a hole of our circle, and then we're just going to pop that through the piece on here. Open those up. You have to excuse the state of my fingers. I've just been playing around with lots of ink, you know, doing some mixed media and fun things, and oh my goodness me, I made a right mess. No surprise there, but that's half the fun, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to press those down so they're nice and flat. Okay, and then whilst I've got this open, I'm just going to put some tape on the back of those, just so that then, because this piece is going to become a pocket, this means that the brad legs won't get in the way of anything that we slide into the pocket. It will just keep them nice and flat, out of the way, and smooth-ish. Okay, so that's that one. I really like how simple these are, but they look really cool. So again, thank you, Tanya, for the inspiration for the tutorial. These are going to be really cool. Okay, so once you've got your circles in, you'll see that you have sort of a slight gap in between, but the circle isn't right at the very bottom of them either. There's sort of space. And that's because obviously we're going to tie our charm and we're going to have a bit of embroidery floss going from there. Okay, so I think now we can go ahead and glue up our pocket. So we're just going to go on 2 sides. Got to remember I've had this upside down, so I don't want to squeeze it too hard. And just get that closed up. Another sweltering day today. Summer is officially here because we had the summer solstice, when was it? Last week or sometime. I am filming ahead in case that comment doesn't make sense to when you're actually watching this, but yeah, we've just had that. So yeah, we're officially in summertime, and I have to say the UK really has been experiencing summer for quite a lot of this year actually. I know we shouldn't talk about global warming, but I'm sorry, it's definitely there with how hot this year has been really. I don't know if I can't really remember much about last year or the year before, but I do feel like it's been hotter this year than, you know, anything we've had in a long time. So anywho, okay, so we've got our little pockets closed up. I can't remember if I put a thumb notch in, and I realise I probably should have checked. Nope, no thumb notch. Okay, because we're just going to have a little journal card in there. So I think now we should probably get I think we'll do the embroidery floss next. I made these a little while ago, so I can't actually remember you know, what comes next or what not, but I think we'll get the embroidery floss done first. So I'm just using embroidery floss because it's what I've got, and it's, you know, it's nice and strong, and I've got lots of colours of it, and I don't use it really for anything else, so I might as well use it for stuff like this. And as I say, it is nice and strong, so I'm just getting off a load of it because I want to have enough for wrapping around and adding our charms. So alrighty, so that should be plenty. So what I'm going to do is just fold it over in half. Okay, and just going to take the loopy end, and I've got to remember which way around this goes. I always get this around the wrong way. I think I'm coming in, nope, I'm going to go from the other way. So I'm coming in from the top. Oops, hold it that way, that might be a bit easier. There we go. And thread your long part through. Just tie that tight, but not too tight. I don't want to rip it or anything. Okay. So now I want to get my charms. So I've got these little leaves. Okay, so we're ready for our charm. Now I can't quite remember whether I threaded it onto one piece or both pieces. So I'm going to try both and we'll just see how that goes. So I'll tell you what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to go round the policy closure a few times, just because then that will tell me how much thread I want for that part. That'll make it a bit easier then. So I'm going to thread these through. Okay, I've got it on there. So I've threaded it through both strands. I just want to get it round the right way. Okay, so like that. Now we want it to be hanging relatively close to the bottom of the whole piece. So I'm going to tie a knot there. which will just secure the charm. I think I want it a little bit further up, so I'm just going to push that up a bit. Okay, about there. So we can undo that now. So I know that's where I want to have the charm. And then I'm going to tie another knot so that it's nice and secure. Okay, so I'm going to wrap that around again, just to check. I think I want it a little bit further up. Okay, so I've got that one on. I just moved it up a bit so that it was, you know, more in line with the bottom of the piece. And I'm just going to chop the excess off there, and then so that we don't have this little bit dangling around like that, because it looks a little bit untidy, I'm actually going to glue it to the thread. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. I know this probably isn't exactly the best way to do it, but I just felt like it was the neatest, whilst also keeping that charm extra secure. So just going to simply glue that to itself. And then just squeeze the ends together like that. I'm just going to leave that one to dry whilst we sort the other one. Okay, so again, we want to fold our thread in half. And which way did I say? Did I come in from the top last time? So I'm going to take the folded over edge, loop through, loop the thread through there, and pull tight. And again, I'm just going to take the threads around the closure so I know roughly where I would want my charm to be. Okay, I've got it, and just going to again just slide that down. Okay, I want it to be about there, so just going to tie a knot. It's a little bit fiddly with the charm, but it does look very nice with it, you know. Okay, let me just okay, I think about there, and then another knot, nice and tight. Okay. Let's check that. Yep, close enough. Might be a little bit not quite where I want it, but that doesn't matter, does it? It's hard to get the charm actually right at the very bottom of the piece. It's a little bit tricky, but I think it'll be fine. And then we're going to cut the excess off. And then again, I'm just going to glue that to itself. As I say, I'm sure there's probably better, easier ways to do this part, but I felt like it was the best option for the things that I've got, you know, and keeping that charm nice and secure, and whilst being neat and everything at the same time. Something buzzing near my window. Thinking it sounds like something has gotten stuck in the window. Have a look at that in a second. Okay, so that will be like so, and that one will be back. So there we go. Go the other way actually on that one. Right, let me hit pause. I'm just going to sort that, whatever that buzzing sound is, and then we'll get to go in with the next part of these. Okay, and then the next part I believe is popping in our little scrappy notepad. Okay, so I said these were 3.5 wide, didn't I? So I'm just going to grab a scrap of tea-dyed paper. I'm thinking one A5 sheet should be plenty for both of them. Okay, so let's open this up. Just want to see how wide I need to go. About there. And see, we don't want to get in the way of the flap, so I believe we want to go about there. How's that? Let's just check. Yep, perfect. So let's get a couple of these. Because each folio is the same size, I should just be able to get a whole bunch of them. That one's obviously a bit thinner. Alright, I will need more paper then. Okay, so I've got my 2 bits. I've done them differently because I didn't want to use more than just one bit of paper. So they're not exactly the same, but they should fit in there just fine. So we'll have that one just, I think. Might need trimming down a little bit, but let's just see. Okay, we're just going to put one staple in vaguely the middle. Normally I would stitch these, but for the Tim Holtz, I actually really quite like the look of the staple. Nice and easy. And we can always put something on there if you didn't like that look. So yeah, I think I want to trim that one down on the sides slightly, and I think I want to trim that one in height slightly. So I'll just do that on the trimmer and I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm sorry about these blind markings again. I really need to sort my blinds out, but yeah, hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. I'm just so sorry about that, but we're almost at the end now. Okay, and then we're just going to pop some glue, a decent amount of glue, but not too much, across where the staple is, and just glue that in like so. You could always make these removable notepads if you wanted. You would just put like a belly band along inside, and then yeah, just slip your paper over that. For the purposes of keeping these a nice and simple make, I like the idea of just stapling and gluing. It's quite nice. And they do kind of fit with the whole Tim Holtz style, I think. And then it's just a case of popping something in the pocket. So I've got this offcut of one of the large 12 by 12s. There you go. And I'm just going to simply cut them down to size around the corners, and I think that would just be perfectly fine. So I'm going to hit pause whilst to do that, because I do have to bring in the big trimmer, and then I'll just show you how they all look when we're finished. How forgetful am I? I completely forgot that we need to put the labels on. So I've just found these two from a Tracy Fox labels kit. I think they go quite nicely, so I'm going to go with those. With this one over here, because the Field Notes label was a little bit, you know, it was quite a simple shape, I actually backed it with some of my Tim Holtz scraps. These two I think look just perfectly fine, just glued on. Sorry if you can hear my neighbours, they're a bit loud out there. Okay, and then that is it. I will show you them in a second, all completed. So yeah, as you can see, really simple make, but they look so cool. I really like them. So as I say, they were inspired by Tanya from Teddy Treasure. I followed her tutorial rather, and I will link that original video down below so you can see her version, see how hers look. I'm really happy with those. I think they look really cool. So in terms of use, because of the charm here, I personally wouldn't put them in a pocket because that will just get in the way. So I imagine I will probably glue mine straight down onto one of my pages, and so then the idea is that this is all glued down, and then you can lift that up, do your writing on the different bits. You could always put something else underneath this pad. You could have like a little pocket or something, and I might look into that. And then we've just got a very simple journal card made from my scraps. There's space to write on the back, so I'm just going to leave it as is so it's nice and flat. And that just goes in the little pocket. Aren't they cool? The other journal card is much the same. Obviously it was taken from the same bit of paper. So we've got this one in there. So just a bit of faux vintage ephemera really. I think the blue and the pink go quite well, and again, good enough to write on the back, I think. Might need a little bit taking off of that one, but for the most part, they're done. As I say, I might put a little pocket or something underneath there because I do feel like you've got extra room to do that. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with those. I think they look smashing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next video for some more Tim Holtz, or you know, if you're just watching that playlist, or with the Tim Holtz, I'm just sort of doing a video here and there as opposed to that's all you see, because I know Tim Holtz isn't to everyone's cup of tea. So yeah, if you're just watching the Tim Holtz, then I'll see you on the next one. If you're watching my other videos, my other projects, then I'll see you on that one. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now, and thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.